Hello and welcome to Your Government in Action, a presentation of Bahamas Information Services. I'm Carissa Williamson. The government is ramping up its fight against gang violence through a new initiative aimed at clearing neighborhoods of gangs and holding communities through sustainable police presence. The plan underscores national security as a top priority and was unveiled at a press conference held at the Office of the Prime Minister on February 24th, 2025.
Let me begin this briefing with a reference to some recent events to demonstrate what we say is the value of these initiatives. The country would have witnessed upfront and personally over the last month 2 graphic videos of what we face in this country. The first video was of the homicide through Cooper's Terrace off Camp Road, where one can see 3 individuals who are somebody's children, who live somewhere, who have many friends, exit a vehicle and carelessly gun down another young Bahamian. But more importantly, the ministry initiated a very simple program by way of ads and announcements, and you may have seen it. It's the Crime Free Looks Like Me initiative. And we presented a number of persons who we have made videos of to reflect what you can do in crime prevention. Notably, you may recall Coach Kevin Johnson, who works in basketball with C.I. Gibson and young men all over this island. Andy and Nancy Knowles with the Let's Swim Bahamas initiative, teaching a vital skill of swimming to primary schools with the aid of the Royal Bahamas Defense Force and the National Youth Guard. Crime Free Looks Like Me is a very simple proposition. We challenge persons to be able to do a very simple video to show what you are doing in this effort. This is an all of government, all of society effort. It is not enough to talk about what the police are or are not doing, what the church is or is not doing, what the government is or is not doing. In this effort, there are basically 3 types of persons. There are persons who are part of the problem. There are persons who are part of the solution. And then there are persons who are voyeurs, who just simply sit and watch. Bahamas, you have to determine which of those groups you will be a part of. The Clear Hole Bill strategy is a policing effort that was launched in Angliston. It is one of the more aggressive police interventions under our 5-pillar approaches. And already we are seeing real results. This initiative relies heavily on the hard work of the men and women of the Royal Bahamas Police Force. But as I said, it must go beyond policing. Clear Hole Bill is about restoring communities to what they once were. Groups of families, friends, neighbors living lives of quiet enjoyment. This approach has been adopted in several countries, so we're not claiming to have invented the wheel. We are deeply encouraged by the progress made in Angliston over the past short months. As indicated in the name, this strategy involved 3 phases. The clear phase focused on removing criminal elements. The whole phase ensured that law enforcement presence was sustained, And now as we enter the build phase in Eggleston, we're investing in long-term solutions like education, skills training, economic opportunity, and youth empowerment.
Minister of Social Services, Information and Broadcasting, the Honorable Miles LaRota, wrapped up a 3-day visit to Crooked Island, Acklands, and Long Key as a part of the Let's Discuss Our Family Island Affairs tour. He was accompanied by government officials and key representatives addressing gender affairs, social services, and disability support. Our Matt Mora has more.
Minister LaRota said a key focus of the Let's Discuss Our Family Island Affairs tour was to level the playing field for Family Island communities by providing the same access to government products and services as those persons in the more populated areas of the Bahamas, no matter where they lived in country or how many people resided there. He said access and inclusion for all Bahamians was a mandate of the country's founding fathers.
We will go to them no matter how many people is there, because the founding fathers of this country had a position, and that is those who live even in the most desolate parts of the country should have access to the same things that Nassauvians do. Simple things, kids with glasses. A lot of these communities don't know that social services can exist. People needing wheelchairs, walkers, surgeries on your eyes, surgeries on your knees, surgeries on your hip. These are services that people in Nassau get all the time. But the islands of the southern Bahamas do not, one, have access to that information, and therefore they don't have access to those services.
Minister LaRota encouraged residents across the 3 southern island communities to take advantage of the opportunities offered by the Secretariat of the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities to register their loved ones. According to a recent World Health Organization report, 1 in every 6 persons worldwide currently live with a disability. Those numbers are expected to increase as a result of the prevalence of non-communicable diseases and persons living longer. Minister LaRota spoke to the importance of being able to properly account for the community of persons with disabilities.
Bahamas is a country of about 400,000 people. And reports are saying that 16%, not 15 now, 16% of the population have some form of disability. That means we should have 64,000 Bahamians who are disabled. But we have only around 2,000 people on our register. It means that if the government is giving out monies for disabilities and the council that deal with it, and they're only seeing 12, 15, 1,600 people, how do you expect the budget to be increased? Because we deal with numbers. And so it's in your own best interest, if you know that you have somebody in your community that is disabled, to have those individuals registered, because it makes a big difference on the budget.
Minister LaRota said gone are the days when families kept their loved ones with disabilities hidden away.
Gone are the days for that. Because it's actually a crime to do that. You know, it's a crime to have your child, some of them who are adults in their 50s and 60s and never seen the light of day, because we as their loved ones, and I use that tongue in cheek, hide them away because we are ashamed of them. So these disabilities touch every community, every family, all of us in here. There's not one person in here could say that they don't have a member of their family that is disabled. And we owe it to those individuals to provide them with the tools for them to thrive.
Officials from the Department of Gender and Family Affairs used the visit as an opportunity to establish Family Island Coordination Councils in both Acklands and Crooked Island. Deputy Permanent Secretary Melville Simonet, who heads the Department of Gender and Family Affairs, said gender-based violence is a serious issue that needs a collaborative, holistic approach. Councils have been formed in 7 other districts across the Bahamas. The establishment of the council is in line with recommendations from the National Task Force to address gender-based violence.
One of those recommendations was to establish family island coordination councils in each of the islands, because persons who live on the islands know the island, they know the people in the island, they know what goes on in the island, and nobody should be able to write a program for persons who live in the island rather than the persons who live there themselves. So we have come here to work with you, to call on you to do what you can to devise programs to address the issue of gender-based violence.
DPS Simonet said gender-based violence can take on many forms.
It could be physical, it could be sexual, it could be psychological, it could be financial. You know, people could withhold money from you, right? Because they know they got it and you need it, they could withhold it, right? That's financial abuse. So whatever the form of violence, it needs to be addressed.
The southern leg of the Let's Discuss Our Family Island Affairs tour will conclude in the islands of Mayaguana and Inagua. Minister LaRota said it is his intention to, quote, touch every island in the Bahamas. For your government in action, I'm Matt Mora.
And now let's take a look up north with Andrew Coakley of our Northern Service.
How does Grand Bahama transition from untapped potential to meaningful progress? Well, Dwight Gibson, Director of Operations and Product Development at the Tourism Development Corporation, has a few ideas.
According to the tourism executive, the first order of business will be to create an environment where every aspiring entrepreneur, every innovative thinker, every determined business owner is equipped with the tools, knowledge, and opportunities necessary to succeed. Highlighting a program now in the works, which Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Ginger Moxie, has promoted for some time, Grand Bahama's 242 Business Incubator. Mr. Gibson said this program will do much to assist the tourism product in the second city.
This will be a dynamic hub that will serve as a catalyst for innovation designed to remove barriers, provide strategic resources, and cultivate a new wave of tourism-focused entrepreneurs. Through mentorship, funding opportunities, business development support, and access to critical networks, the Center will empower local visionaries to create, scale, and sustain businesses that not only serve our visitors, but also enrich our communities. Beyond business development, once completed, the Center will feature retail spaces offering small, budding entrepreneurs an entry-level opportunity to introduce their products and services to a larger market. This vital component directly addresses one of the biggest challenges to new business owners, the cost and complexity of securing a brick-and-mortar location. Additionally, by providing an accessible and affordable retail platform, the Center will serve as a launch pad for entrepreneurs to test, refine, and grow their businesses in a thriving commercial environment. By fostering a culture of innovation and equipping our people with the means to turn ideas into reality, we are not only reshaping the economic landscape of Grand Bahama, we are setting the stage for a more resilient and prosperous Bahamas. This is more than an initiative. It's a movement towards self-sufficiency, economic empowerment, and bold redefinition of what Bahamian tourism and entrepreneurship can be.
One of the significant shifts in global tourism has been the rise in short-term vacation rentals like Airbnb and others. Research has shown that today's travelers seek authentic, immersive experiences, and Grand Bahama is positioned to deliver just that. To help local homeowners tackle this lucrative market, the Tourism Development Corporation has launched the Home Sweet Home Vacation Rentals Grants Program, a $1.2 million investment designed to empower Bahamians to enter the vacation rental industry.
In phase one last year, that closed just in December, we paid out from the Tourism Development Corporation over $600,000 in grants to persons that were seeking to enhance, establish, or refurbish short-term rental properties. Phase two, which is currently accepting applications, will see more than an additional $600,000 in grants of up to $10,000 go out to grant recipients. So whether you're transforming an existing space or starting from the ground up, These grants help remove financial barriers, allowing homeowners to create high-quality, comfortable accommodations that attract international visitors. More than just an investment in real estate, this initiative fuels community-driven tourism, ensuring that the economic benefits of our growing tourism industry remain in the hands of our people. Recognizing that access to additional capital is vital and also sometimes a barrier, we have also established a strategic partnership with the Bahamas Development Bank. Specifically, in this Home Sweet Home program, the partnership will provide loan opportunities for grant recipients that qualify to access supplemental funding to bring their vacation rental visions to life. By bridging financial gaps, we ensure that more Bahamians can fully realize their potential in the short-term rental market. This initiative reflects a holistic approach to tourism development, one that provides both funding and support to help owners succeed. Equipping Bahamians with the resources they need to create thriving, sustainable vacation rental businesses, we are expanding our tourism capacity, driving economic empowerment, and shaping a future where Grand Bahamas tourism industry works for all.
Gibson said sustainable tourism is only possible when we invest in our people. Having great business ideas is not enough. Entrepreneurs need skill, knowledge, and certification to execute their vision successfully. For this reason, Gibson said the Tourism Development Corporation is committed to industry-specific training and certification programs to ensure that Grand Bahamians are globally competitive and well-equipped to meet the demands of a rapidly evolving tourism industry. With this level of training, Gibson said the island can produce more skilled tour operators, hospitality professionals, and tourism entrepreneurs who will not only be able to compete, but to lead in their respective fields.
To strengthen this initiative, we are offering business development services that include business plan writing, business coaching, public relations and branding, marketing, and strategy development. Additionally, we will be collaborating with international industry experts to bring world-class training programs to Grand Bahama. By doing this, we ensure that our entrepreneurs are equipped with cutting-edge technology and best practices that will give them a competitive advantage. Sustainability isn't just a buzzword, it's a necessity. True sustainability means economic longevity, environmental responsibility, and community inclusion. And as we work to a more resilient and thriving Grand Bahama, our approach to this is built on three key pillars. Economic empowerment, providing direct financial support, training, and access to capital to equip local entrepreneurs with the tools they need to succeed. Environmental responsibility, encouraging eco-friendly tourism models and sustainable business practices that preserve and protect Grand Bahama's natural beauty for generations to come. We are shaping a future where Bahamians take ownership of our tourism industry. This is more than an investment in individuals. It is an investment in long-term prosperity driven by local talent and vision.
For Your Government in Action, I'm Andrew Coakley.
More of Your Government in Action when we return. Welcome back. The government has officially announced its Fiscal Responsibility Council, a key watchdog ensuring compliance with financial principles. The introduction to the new council members took place at a press conference held at the Ministry of Finance on February 27, 2025.
Good morning. I'm pleased to confirm the appointment of the Fiscal Responsibility Council, an independent body, corporate, pursuant to Section 26 of the Public Finance Act of 2023. The council was appointed with effect from Tuesday, the 15th of October, 2024. The inaugural Fiscal Responsibility Council was appointed on the 4th of November, 2019, under the then Fiscal Responsibility Act of 2018. and his term ended on the 3rd of November 2022. Upon assuming office on the 17th of September 2021, the government decided to repeal and replace the old act with the current act. The current council is chaired by Christian Science Feast, a native of Lucha, a financial services and securities law expert, and partner in law firm at Hicks Johnson. Ms. Feast has over 25 years experience leading complex Bahamian and cross-border transactions and serves as a director of various private sector entities. She is also a member of the Judicial and Legal Services Commission and previously served as the director of the Bahamas Financial Services Board and the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce and Employees Confederation. Also co-chairing its Ease of Doing Business division. She is also an advisor to the Lucha Chamber of Commerce and vice chairman of the Bahamas Hotels and Healthcare Facilities License Board, and she was a member of the inaugural Fiscal Responsibility Council. Ms. Sands Feast brings her extensive experience as a senior legal advisor, both in-house and in a firm, in various sectors, including hospitality, energy, and the capital markets, and her business knowledge to bear on the operations of the council. The other members of the council possesses a wide range of experience in the public and private sector throughout the Bahamas and are as follows. Mr. Pedro Wood, a native of Gazuma, senior business executive and real estate professional, is a chairman of the Bridge Authority and the president of Seaside Real Estate and Capital Investment Services. He is also a former executive chairman of the Bahamas Power and Light Company and a former president of the Gazuma Chamber of Commerce. Dr. Gazelle Farrington is a well-known, seasoned financial services professional with over 30 years of experience. Dr. Farrington serves as a director of personal business banking at CIBC, and in that capacity she serves as CIBC's representative on the Clearing Banks Association of the Bahamas and the board of the Bahamas Automated Clearing House. Additionally, she serves as a financial advisor to various local and international companies. Mr. Stephen Knowles, PE, a native of Long Island, is a civil engineer and the CEO and president of the SGK Civil Engineering and Construction Limited. Mr. Knowles has led civil engineering and construction projects for state-owned enterprises and private clients throughout the Bahamas and is a member of the Bahamas Board of Professional Engineers. Mr. Rupert Pinder, a well-known economist with extensive experience in public and private sector and in academia. Mr. Pinder currently serves as assistant professor of economics at the University of the Bahamas. He formerly acted as senior manager economist at BTC, a director of electronic communication at OICA, and as a budget analyst in the Ministry of Finance. The government is confident that the members of the council are amply qualified to discharge their functions.
Our role is, we are an independent council. Our role is not to manage the public finances. That is a role for the government. The council's responsibility is to assess compliance against defined principles. We intend to do that diligently, calling on the extensive expertise of all of my council members who are esteemed economists, business people from throughout the length and breadth of the Bahamas. You will note from the composition of the council that they are from various islands in the Bahamas, have experience in different sectors, and so we'll be calling on that collective experience, supported by the relevant expertise of economists and so on that we will be advertising for to support us in our work. Our current focus and our primary focus is first of all to ensure that our structural and infrastructural arrangements are in place, and we are working with the Ministry of Finance to ensure that we have suitable accommodation, suitable support staff. That's our immediate priority. Secondly, we will be sourcing the relevant expertise, as the council has done in the past. As the Financial Secretary indicated, I served on the previous inaugural Fiscal Responsibility Council, and that support will be critical to ensure that we are able to properly discharge our functions diligently and appropriately, to ensure that the relevant exchange of information streams are in place, to receive the information that the council needs to discharge its function. And again, just to underscore, our role is an independent one. We function independently. We intend to use our collective resources, knowledge of business, relying on the expertise of the relevant experts to discharge our statutory functions.
The Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources is making a bold move to boost local food production, showcasing the ongoing initiatives in a press tour held on February 27, 2025. From the growing flock of the Golden Yoke program and the launch of the National Swine Breeding Program, according to officials, these initiatives are aimed at strengthening farming and cutting the import food bill by 25% by the year's end.
Which is a part of the National Layer Rollout Plan program, where we have sourced just over 1,000 chickens. We would distribute those between 10 farmers. Mr. Stewart being a premier farmer in the country at D&T Nursery, he was, as you can see, our first choice as a part of this program. The idea would be that through the partnership with the ministry, we would be able to purchase eggs from Mr. Stewart to be resold to the general public at a very, very reasonable price, much lower than the $6 and $7 and $13 and $21 we see in the food store. So we want to say a heartfelt thank you to Mr. Stewart and his team for partnering with us to make the lives of the Bahamian people even better and more affordable.
With expanding on the chicken production of the eggs, because we had about 2,000 chickens that we were producing eggs, and the minister came over and spoke with me on seeing if we can up the volume, because we produce about maybe 70 dozen a day right now, but we take them out about 11 a.m. in the morning, and by noon all the eggs are gone. And so we really sell just to the public, not wholesale. And the demand is so high that we have folks coming in want to actually pay for them, so we have to do it on a first come first serve basis. And we realized the demand for the local public is so high that we decided to join with them and seeing if we can up the production to be able to supply more higher demand. And so they've been working with us on that. We just had a container fee come in yesterday. And so we just had also some chickens from the Ministry of Agriculture. So maybe in about the next month or two, we should be able to up our production and maybe about 120 dozen eggs per day.
This breed of chicken is known as the Tetra Broad. It's a family of the Rhode Island red chicken. It produces actually a broad, large egg. These type of chickens actually lay about 250 eggs per year. So it's known to be a very prolific breed of chickens. They're very docile, resist, and hardy. When I say hardy, they're resistant to diseases. Like right now we have the great epidemic in the United States with the bird flu. So these type of chickens, as you can see on the free range, they thrive very excellent. Okay, so you also notice that the brown in color, brown eggs versus white eggs. Okay, now this actually here on the ear on the comb determines the color of the eggs. So you may have some brown chicken, but if they have that white, the genetics will show white eggs. Okay, so you have different type of breeds, but this chicken actually is known to be really hardy, resistant to bacteria and all pathogens. So it's free range, it picks up flaxseed, so his eggs is actually excellent. So you get eggs fresh today. All right, today, like he said, eggs are there 10, by 11 they're gone. Okay, so the eggs are actually extra large, have it in a dozen plate, and they lay prolific for about 2 years.
I'm Carissa Williamson, and this has been Your Government in Action, a proud presentation of Bahamas Information Services. Join us on Tuesday evenings, where we bring you highlights, coverage, and information as we continue to do what we do best, linking people and government.